Jalen Green is a
Oof.
player who is intriguing. I mean, I think he has a lot of swag to his game, and that's why I think Houston Rockets fans have gravitated towards him. He has just a LaMelo Ball like personality in terms of his aura and how he presents himself. And a player like that playing for your team, you automatically become a fan. Where Evan Mobley's kind of different. Evan Mobley's much more reserved, isn't
Yeah.
going to say much. Jalen Green is outgoing. And in the G League against pros, basically either pros or high level college stars that went undrafted or did get drafted, he averaged 18, 4, and 3, shot 46% from the field, 36% from the three, 84% from the free throw line. He's 6'5, 180 pounds. And as a scorer, I think he's the best scorer in this draft. I think the top few scorers in this draft are Jalen Green, James Bucknight, and Cam Thomas. The way he can create off the dribble is really special. He has an elite handle and feel. He has an array of moves that you can see he has practiced so much that when he's in the game, he doesn't even premeditate what he does. He just goes off of feeling and creates these crazy combos off of feeling alone. He's a good spot up shooter, so he can play off of KPJ. His explosiveness is second to none in this draft. And he did show a willingness to play good defense. I think he has toughness in him. Because of that, I don't think he's going to get punked around. He's not a player that if a player goes at him, he's going to back down. I think he has that type of competitive edge that he's going to try and hold his own. But my weaknesses for him is that I think his finishing could be better. Sometimes he tries to go for a flashy finish or goes for a highlight posterizing dunk, and he misses that. Um, Also, I think his weight and frame is just going to get targeted by NBA players, high level ones or low level ones, because a guy 180 pounds, 6'5", in the G League, he didn't hold his own on defense. Even though he tried to, he didn't really hold his own. In the
That's
NBA,
Jalen Suggs' weight.
yeah, in NBA, that's going to be much different. So because of that, I think those are his strengths and weaknesses. But I think his ceiling is an All NBA player. He could lead the league in scoring, and his floor is a volume scoring NBA starter. Like the worst I can see him being is like a Terrence Ross,
Mm.
where you come off the bench and score like 17 a game, and you contribute that way. That's the worst I can see him being. But the best I can see him being is a Bradley Beal, Devin Booker type of player.
Yeah, he's in that for me. Jalen Green. He's in that Bradley Bill, Zach Levine, Devin Booker mold. He is that scoring guy coming out, that flashy guy that can do all. He's box office, like you said. Weaknesses. His strengths. We know his strengths. He can create his own shot. He has that flashy otherworldly bounce, but his weaknesses, he does lack that defensive, not aggression, but he lacks that size to be able to guard his position on defense. He is a little small in his frame. Also, his shot selection is a little bit poor at times. He does take a lot of bad shots, and his playmaking isn't what it needs to be in this type of NBA for a two guard. He doesn't really have that instinct to make a play for other players. But in that same sense, Jalen Green is a very high level scorer. He's a guy who can come in, and I think his floor is CJ McCollum. If we're being honest, a 20-point scorer consistently for the NBA, and I think in that same sense, you got to look at Jalen Green as the factor because Jalen Green being paired up with Cade Cunningham and Evan Mobley as a top prospect, people think scoring is needed in the NBA, but we've seen 30-point scorers on bottom playoff teams. This NBA is so talented now. You need to be versatile, or you need to do other things on the court to be effective. And I think with Jalen Green, he has to figure out that either defense or playmaking has to be his second niche. But yeah, like I said, I see Devin Booker, Zach Levine, really more Zach because of the bounce, but floor CJ McCollum.
Yeah, when I first saw Jalen Green play, he instantly reminded me of Bradley Beal.
Mm.
And Bradley Beal has sneaky bounce.
Yeah,
He has sneaky bounce. Like his bounce is crazy. With the Rockets, I think him and KPJ would fit just fine. They're friends off the court, and both of them have swag to them. KPJ has a lot of swag to him. So does Jalen Green. So I think that would be a really fun backcourt to watch. And if KPJ does develop as a passer, it can work for Christian Wood as well, because I think Christian Wood does need to play off another player who can really set him up. Because with James Harden, we saw C Wood really take his game to another level because the game was just made easy. and then John Wall as well. He could do the same type of things for C Wood. So I think KPJ and him is a great fit. I think Houston would be a really good team with Jalen Green. And with the Cavs, I think those are the only two teams I see taking Green, the Cavs and the Rockets. And I think with the Cavs, if you lose Sexton, then Jalen Green is the perfect plug and play shooting guard to just fit in there. And I think he would kind of provide the same thing Sexton does, just he's 3 inches taller than Sexton. You could say four if you think Sexton is 6'1" or 6'2". So they'd be basically gaining in Jalen Green what they're losing in Sexton if they do trade him, and they could also get more assets with the Sexton trade. So I think Jalen Green is a hell of a player. I do see him as an all-star one day, and he reminds me of Bradley Beal a lot. And I think the Rockets right now is his best fit because of that friendship with KPJ.
Yeah, I think Houston, Cleveland, and if Orlando somehow sneaked in, Orlando would be the best three spots in the lottery for Jalen Green. Orlando being they needed score, they needed two guard, and then Houston for the obvious reasons you named KPJ, and both of them have been speaking a lot. So I think they both understand that Jalen Green might be really going to Houston. They're good friends. You know, Kevin Porter Jr. has even tweeted on Twitter the other day, I am a point guard. So that kind of settled that. He will be the point guard, and Jalen Green will be the two guard. In Cleveland, you know, the good thing about drafting Okora is that he can play the 2 and 3. He can guard the 2 and 3 pretty effectively. So I think going Jalen Green there means Sexton is gone, probably. And I think that's a good guy who can just come in and kind of do what Sexton was doing, you know, put up those 20 points a game. But those would be the three teams, team fit that would be good for Jalen Green.